Supreme Court has ordered an investigation into the circumstances relative to the purported issuance of a search warrant directed to the CIDG that has led to the death in custody of Albuera Mayor Rolando Espinosa. Okay, last item. In the matter of GR number 225973, Saturnino C. Ocampo et al. Versus Rear Admiral Ernesto C. Enriquez et al., GR number 225984, Representative Edsel Lagman et al. Versus Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdea et al., GR number 226097, Loretta Ann Pargas Rosales et al. Versus Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdea et al., GR number 226116, he, her son Alvarez et al. Versus Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdea et al., GR number 226117, Zaira Patricia B. Banyaga et al. Versus Secretary of National Defense et al., GR number 226120, Algamar A. Latif versus Secretary Delphine Lorenzana et al., and GR number 226294, Senator Laila M. De Lima versus Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdea et al. The court, with a vote of 9-5, with Justice Bienvenido Reyes taking no part, rendered the following judgment. Wherefore, premises considered, the petitions are dismissed. Necessarily, the status quo ante order is hereby lifted. Close quote. The following concurred in the decision: Justices Velasco, Leonardo de Castro, Brion, Bersamin, Del Castillo, Perez, Mendoza, and Perlas Bernabe. The following dissented from the decision: the Chief Justice, the Senior Associate Justice, Justices Leonen, Hardeleza, and Kagiwa. The following submitted separate opinions: concurring opinions, Justices Brion, Perez, and Mendoza. Dissenting opinions, the Chief Justice, the Senior Associate Justice, Justices Leonen and Kagiwa. As of today, one or two more justices may still submit their separate opinions when the decision is finally released. Under the internal rules, the decision, together with all of the dissenting and concurring opinions, will be released at the same time. They will not be released today because, as you know, the decision will end, the separate opinions will still be edited, rewritten, and finalized and signed. So expect that within the week. Okay? There is a long summary, about 8 pages, I will not read it, of the decision as well as the dissenting opinions. You may ask questions and I can just pick up from the decision. It's too long to read. Wait, isa lang. Ponente, Justice Peralta. Yes. Huh? Dali Okay, 1 to 5. First 5 siguro. Okay. First, no grave abuse of discretion on the part of the President in ordering the burial of the remains of the former President at the Libingan ng mga Bayani, because this was done in the exercise of his mandate under Article 7, Section 17, the faithful compliance of the laws clause of the 1987 Constitution, and that there is no law that prohibits the burial of the Marcos remains at the Libingan ng mga Bayani. Second main reason, the President has the power to reserve under the Administrative Code for public use and for specific public purposes any of the lands of the public domain, and that the reserved land shall remain subject to the specific public purpose indicated until otherwise provided by law or proclamation. Court found that there is no law or executive issuance at present that specifically excludes the land on which the LNMB is located from the use it was originally intended by the previous presidents. Third reason, the court found that under pertinent AFP regulations, particularly Regulation G161-375, the Marcos remains could be interred at LLMB because Marcos possessed the qualifications and none of the disqualifications under the resolutions, pointing out that he was a former president, he was a former commander-in-chief, he was a former soldier, Medal of Valor awardee, former legislator, Secretary of National Defense. The court also disagreed with the position articulated by some justices as well as the petitioners that the former president had been dishonorably discharged, saying that this specific disqualification pertains only to the military covered under the Articles of War, and specifically those in the active service. And finally, the court disagreed that Marcos was disqualified because he had not been convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude. The court said that the cases cited by the petitioners, which were cases abroad, were all civil in nature, and therefore he has not been convicted by any final judgment involving moral turpitude. That's the long and short of it. You can read it in the summary. There is also a summary of the concurring opinions thus far, as well as the dissenting opinions thus far. Please note in your reports that one or two more justices may still submit their separate opinions. I don't know whether they are concurring or dissenting. I don't know which justices will still submit. Huh? Let's see. I think because of the main opinion disagreeing with the dissent, you can see already some of the issues. Public purpose, public funds, dishonorable discharge, reading the Constitution as a whole, grave abuse of discretion by the President because there is no public purpose for the interment of the remains at the libingan ng mga bayani. One particular justice pointed out as well that it appears that the actions of the public respondents are contrary to the oath of office because they encourage impunity, which is the result of rewarding the person who presided over human rights violations and who personally participated in the plunder of the public treasury. One justice also mentioned that the court had already made a ruling on who Mr. Marcos was, and the Congress had also made a ruling, well, determination rather, of who Mr. Marcos was, and that this could not be changed. These were not anymore subject of review, whether judicial or administrative. That's a very quick snapshot. I am sorry I cannot read everything. They are very long. 8-page? I think you will get yours as soon as you step out that door. Isa lang. Okay, come on. The what? Sorry.
So what kind of honors would be afforded to the
No, they were simply talking about grave abuse of discretion. So I don't think there's any question of fact involved here. This is the Supreme Court, so the Supreme Court does not look at questions of fact. It just looks at questions of law, particularly in this case, grave abuse of discretion. Anjo.
Sir, is the decision of any immediate executory or extradition?
I read the entire judgment, so it doesn't say anything about being immediately executory.
But since then, QA has been lifted, the former dictator can be buried tomorrow.
I read the entire judgment, Dina, so huwag mo na lang ako pasagutin na yan.
Sir, the division of justice.
Ha? Excuse me? Bienvenido Reyes, yes. Okay? Ano na yan? Isa. Lia. Ha? Hindi pa alam. Kakatapos lang nila eh. So, the court just asked that I think they will constitute someone to, they will not constitute, they will direct someone to investigate the issuance of the search warrant. I don't know the parameters yet of the investigation. Huh? I don't know. I don't think so. But that's within the power of the court anyway, because it's a lower court that issued the search warrant. Yes? Question? Okay na? Anong gusto niyong gawin ko? Ano? Ano itataas ko? Naka-folder. Naka-folder. Ano itataas ko? Naka-folder siya. Okay? Maraming salamat. Ha? Kayo talaga. Ayan. Sige, susunod may bayad na. Okay. Thank you.